We are honored to have Governor Inslee here, and it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our governor and my friend, Jay Inslee.
Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate that, and I want to say I really appreciate this transportation award you gave me. It sits right next to my trophy case to the only other trophy I've ever won, which was the most improved trophy when I was 11 years old after they cut me from Little League and then let me back on the... So that's it as far as my trophy case, and I want to tell you I appreciate very much that honor. It is a delight to be here for so many reasons. I was reading a book called The Way of the World the other day. It's kind of a history of human civilization, and it pointed out that human civilization started with cities. Basically, cities were the beginning of human civilization. I thought, I should probably mention that at the Association of Washington Cities coming up. That's the grand reason I'm happy to be here, but the real reason is I have so much enjoyed working with local leaders in the first 3 years of being governor, and it's just a joy when you get to meet people like Barb Tolbert up in Arlington, or Dan at Darrington, or the mayors of Port Angeles, where we started our carbon fiber recycling center. You see local leadership that is so much helping grow our economy in the state of Washington. And it's just a joy to get to know people who are like you, helping their local communities stitch together what is the #1 economy right now in the United States, which is the state of Washington. I do want to comment on some of the successes we've had together. This transportation success is profound. And I know it took a long time. For 2 years, all we heard was sort of no in the halls of Olympia. But you were undaunted, and we were undaunted. And we said yes one more time, then people said no. So I want to tell you that I think we should take some pride that together, because of your leadership, we passed the largest single transportation investment package and the greenest transportation package in the history of the state of Washington. Congratulations on what you did. We are only partway through our transformation of education. Now, we have made some major achievements in the last several years. We have invested nearly $5.7 billion of new money for education in the last 3 years. This is the largest single increase in education spending in the history of the state of Washington. And again, we ought to be proud of that achievement. And it's been done on a bipartisan basis. And it's invested in some things that we know really work. Look at the things that we're gonna do, that we've decided to do together on a bipartisan basis. Early childhood education. We know that it's a good thing to invest in a 3- and 4-year-old kid so they're ready for first grade, so they end up as a Washington State Cougar instead of a Walla Walla inmate. Okay? We know that is a good thing in the state of Washington. We know it's a good thing that we've had full-day kindergarten for every kid in the state of Washington. We know it's a good thing that we've reduced class size down to 17 in kindergarten for 3rd grade. We know it's a great thing that we have improved mentoring for our teachers, so we give them additional professional education opportunities as they're in the classroom. We know it's a good thing that we finally provided a modest first step compensation increase for our teachers after so many years without a raise. And we know it's a great thing that there's one state in the whole United States that has reduced tuition payments for 4-year and community college and technical college students, and that's the state of Washington this year. This has been a great success in this success. But we also know with all that achievement, the hardest work is yet to come, which is the final step in our multiple step effort to improve the financial underpinning of our K through 12 system. Now, we obviously have a lot of other priorities as well. Homelessness and our mental illness and mental health challenges are real, and they affect every single community in our state. We know that our housing challenges, our mental health challenges affect not just the large cities, but every city and every community in the state of Washington. And we know that is true because during the Great Recession, the legislature made very, very deep cuts in programs, particularly in mental health. And despite concerted efforts to rebuild these services since I've come into office, and we have made concerted efforts to fix these problems, we still are operating under the shadow of those cuts during the recession. That's why I'm heartened to hear that our state has built more than 40,000 affordable housing units in the last 25 years. But our population has expanded at an equally fast pace, and housing costs have gone up while wages, particularly for those in the lower sector of economy, have not kept pace with inflation. And this has driven so many people, and hardworking people, who are barely hanging on, into the streets. And I know that you all see this. That's why we have increased appropriations into the Housing Trust Fund. In fact, in the last couple years, we've increased our state investment by in excess of $25 million over previous bienniums into these various housing programs. And we continue to want to invest because investments in the Housing Trust Fund leverage $4 of match from federal and private partners for every dollar of state investment that we have made. We've invested in weatherization programs. Does somebody have a solution to this problem? I would like this technology. Turn it off. We've invested in weatherization programs that reduce heating costs for low-income folks and to help their making houses more energy efficient. And we're looking for innovation and innovative strategies into this challenge, like converting single occupancy homes to multiple occupancy units, or providing grants to private sector landlords so that they can fix up old units and get them into the rental market. Now, we've taken some important steps in mental health as well. Since 2013, we've added treatment services in the community, like crisis response teams. We've put on the ground mobile treatment teams and short-term evaluation and treatment beds. Now, this is important, and we know why, because in the absence of treatment options, we know where our de facto mental health care system is. It is in our jail system. And it is very sad to recognize that reality. And I know that every single community in the state of Washington recognizes that reality right now. There's hardly a less effective or more expensive way to do this, and we have got to do better. Finally, I know that everyone in this room is concerned about our infrastructure challenges. The legislature has continually and systematically altered the uses and transferred funding from the Model Toxics Control account, and we know that you're feeling that. This funding is hurting because MODCA is mostly funded by a tax on petroleum. And with oil prices down so precipitously, since just a year ago, we know what it's done to this fund. So I have proposed $26 million in capital bond funding in my supplemental budget to partially shore up this account. Now, this is a significant increase, or excuse me, a significant portion of our capital budget. And it's in competition with many other needs in this budget, as you know. But to hold on to these funds, I hope you're going to take a chance to talk to your legislators about the necessity of making this investment. The longer term, we are going to need to talk about a more sustainable path forward on MODCA to make sure that vital programs remain funding through this account. We also need to address the increasing need for wastewater, stormwater, and drinking water infrastructure repair, restructuring, and rebuilding efforts. And one challenge for the Public Works Assistance account has been competing needs for education and mental health. And I think you understand how that need is just going to increase in the next budget cycle, not decrease. Protecting infrastructure funding will be easier if we find a way to pay for those other essentials. We need to continue to work together for innovation on how we can finance this infrastructure. But I'm confident we will, in part because of the successes we've had in the last 3 years.